Hello and welcome to HW Straight Drive with me Anil Rajprit and our sports editor Mahesh Kutti. The Indian team for the 2019 ICC World Cup has been announced and to not much changes, the team remains the same which played against Australia in the home series. The team includes Virat Kohli as the captain, Rohit Sharma as the vice captain, Shikhar Dhawan, KL Rahul, Vijay Shankar, MS Dhoni as the wicketkeeper, Kedar Jadhav, Dinesh Karthik as the backup wicketkeeper, Yuzvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Jasprit Bumrah as a fast bowler, Hardik Pandya as a fast bowling all-rounder, Ravindra Jadeja as a spinning all-rounder, and Mohammad Shami. So Mahesh, what's your first reaction on the selected team?
See, what we had predicted, I think most of them have made it into the team. The two players that made it into the team which we had not included in our 15 was Dinesh Karthik and Ravindra Jadeja. Dinesh Karthik instead of Rishabh Pant, good decision I must confess, because we are not looking at the IPL performance when they, and that was made very clear right at the beginning that the IPL will not be the yardstick to be the selection criteria to be included in the team. So Dinesh Karthik has been one of the better finishers for the game, so no complaints there. Ravindra Jadeja, however, has been the surprise package for me. Now what we are doing is we are taking Ravindra Jadeja instead of a pace bowler, which is a little surprising for me. If you're going to go to the tour with only 3 genuine pace bowlers and Hardik Pandya as your backup all-rounder or your frontline all-rounder, it doesn't add a lot of strength into the team. We would need one more bowler. Imagine one of them breaks down. Do we have another pace bowler? That was precisely the reason why we had recommended Ishant Sharma. And the reason why we said Ishant Sharma was because he has played county cricket last year, and in the recently concluded series last year, Ishant Sharma bowled very well in England. So that was the reason why we said that Ishant Sharma should be included in the team. Now Ravindra Jadeja has been batting very well in the IPL, but then if IPL performance is not to be taken into account, what is the reason for Ravindra Jadeja being taken into the team? Now that, of course, the BCCI selection panel would have really put in a lot of thought. I'm sure the captain and the vice captain would have given their inputs as well, along with the coach Ravi Shastri. So they all would have collectively felt that Ravindra Jadeja can bring in a lot of value to the team. One should always remember he's a brilliant fielder. He can actually change the game with a run out. So all put together, I think that's the only reason why Ravindra Jadeja made it in the team.
One surprise inclusion in the team is Dinesh Karthik, because Dinesh Karthik was not in the team or the ODI team which played against Australia. As MSK Prasad said, that Rishabh Pant had a greater chance, but when it's come to Mahendra Singh Dhoni being injured, Dinesh Karthik provides a wicket-keeping option. So do you think that wicket-keeping factor made Dinesh Karthik into the team?
It's one of the best decisions, I must say. They proved us wrong, okay. But I have no doubt to accept that Dinesh Karthik is a far better and far more accomplished wicketkeeper than Rishabh Pant. A mistake, a dropped catch can actually cost you the match. See, when a wicketkeeper is not spoken about, that means he's doing his work very well. Okay, it's in a match, if he drops one catch, that's the only thing that everybody remembers. Dinesh Karthik, if people are not talking about him, that means he's doing his job well. As a wicketkeeper, I think he's far better than Rishabh Pant. And remember, he's experienced. He is one of the better finishers. So, full marks to the Indian selection panel for having included Dinesh Karthik over Rishabh Pant.
With three opening batsmen, whom do you think will play at the number 3 position? Because selectors have been doubtful that Virat Kohli would play at number 3 and number 4. Who, according to you, would be the number 3 Indian batsman and the number 4 Indian batsman?
According to me, Virat Kohli will bat at number 3 because he likes to take challenges. Even if the ball is moving around, he will go on. Only if he runs into bad form in the first few games, then he might think of batting at number 4. But more often than not, he will want to go out and bat, because the earlier he comes to bat, the more deliveries he'll be able to face. Your number 4 there's a lot of options depending on the situation. Even Dhoni can walk in at number 4. Vijay Shankar can walk in at number 4. Kedar Jadhav might walk in at number 4. So there are options. But number 3 is Virat Kohli for sure.
And how do you rate Vijay Shankar's inclusion in the team? because he's been on and off. He had the very bad finale in the Nidas Trophy, but he proved himself in the New Zealand tour. How do you rate Vijay Shankar's inclusion in that?
See, Vijay Shankar not only bats well, but he can also come and bowl a few overs. See, India won the 1983 World Cup with bowlers like Mohinder Amarnath, Balwinder Singh Sandhu, Madan Lal, Roger Binney.
All-rounders.
See, they were all all-rounders. So in England, you don't need to be express. You need to bowl line, length, and if you can swing the ball, there is always something that the pitch is going to offer you. So I think Vijay Shankar's inclusion is justified, and if he bats at number 4 and scores runs, that will bring a lot of value to the table.
The team has 3 fast bowlers, but the point which is missing in these 3 fast bowlers is none of them is a left-arm fast bowler. Do you think India would obviously miss the services of a left-arm fast bowler?
See, if you have to be very critical of this team, I would say we don't have an off-spinner and we don't have a left-arm pace bowler. Now, these are 2 areas that we have not included anybody in. But I think when the selectors would have sat down, they would have picked up the best 15 players, and they would not have gone through whether he's a fast bowler or an off-spinner. I don't know how much of spin is required in England, but definitely a pace bowler would have been much better. So that's why I feel that if Jadeja was going to be replaced by a pace bowler, it would have been fine. But since they've gone with Jadeja, I don't know how many matches he will play, but he is going to be a very, very valuable player in this team.
Also, do you think both the leg spinners, Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, will play in the same team starting 11? Because in Australia we have seen, in New Zealand we have seen, they haven't been played together. Do you think in England they will play together?
Highly unlikely. See, you have to play 3 pace bowlers, no doubt about that. And then you have to play Hardik Pandya as the all-rounder. That makes it 4. If you have 1 spinner, we're already 5. Then you need 5 or 6 batsmen in England. You can't play a 50-over game with just 5 batsmen, because you can lose a few wickets early on and then you could be in serious trouble. So it won't be in too many matches that you will play with 2 spinners. It's going to be with 1 spinner. So that gives me more doubt as to why Ravindra Jadeja was included. Now, is Jadeja going to be India's number 1 spinner or not? That only time will tell.
And if you have to choose from Vijay Shankar and Hardik Pandya or Ravindra Jadeja, which all-rounder do you think would make it to the starting 11?
See, I don't think Vijay Shankar is a batting all-rounder and Hardik Pandya is a genuine all-rounder.
Complete all-rounder.
Okay, so I think they bring different dimensions to the table. To me, Vijay Shankar will bat at number 4 and Hardik Pandya will be one of the finishers along with whoever is going to play, if it's Dinesh Karthik or Kedar Jadhav, whoever is going to play. So they are different players. But as an all-rounder, Hardik Pandya will be India's number 1 all-rounder.
As the team has been announced, do you think the IPL franchise would now rest some of these players as they are injury prone before the World Cup?
The best thing is that most of the international players are going to fly back. So the franchisees will be forced to keep the Indian players there, because otherwise after the 26th, when most players depart to their respective countries, the franchisees are going to struggle to get 11 players on the field. So there will be a lot of Indian players who will be seen playing. Now a team like Sunrisers Hyderabad will miss Bairstow, Warner and Williamson and Rashid Khan.
Also Mohammad Nabi.
And Mohammad Nabi, that they'll be really, really poor in the team balance, because they've been overly dependent on these players. The Indian players have not come to the party. So any team that is dependent on the international players will struggle.
And with this team, how do you rate India's chances in the World Cup?
We have a very good team. There's no doubt about that. We've got most of the bases covered. Then it's fitness and form that will take over. Remember, not only India, all the other teams will be putting their best side on the field. And for everybody, it's going to be fitness and form. How quickly you get acclimatized to the English conditions, I think India will be at least 15 days before they will be all reaching there. How quickly we get used to the pace and bounce and the movement, that'll be the key. Because if we get used to it very quickly, we'll be able to negotiate a lot of problems.
With the Indian team is announced, we hope that the Indian team repeats its 1983 success of the England tour. With this, it's goodbye from all of us.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.